Tripods smashing through windows, aliens kicking in the front door to come find you, probes looking to probe your anus. Wait, that wasn't part of the script. Probes looking room to room, searching for signs of human activity, huge AI battles between military and the invaders, all that and more is going to be covered in this video. So once again I've discovered more intel from what's coming up in War of the Worlds, more info that's being drip fed from the developer, as well as more of your questions you've asked being answered, and as well as some stuff I forgot to mention in the previous video, as every time I was going to write out what I'm going to say for a video, more things change and get added to a point where I almost can't keep up. So I hope you like all of this news being thrown at your face, because there's more coming in this video. First off, I just want to start with, I forgot to mention in the last video some cut content from the 2005 film will be added, which is of course the infamous Camelot scene. Now, I'm not sure in what way this scene is going to be included in the released version of the game, but the town itself is probably going to be in, or at least a scene similar to that. For those that don't know, what I mean, there's a scene that got removed just before the Battle on the Hill scene, where Tom Cruise's character and the two kids are hiding behind an SUV in the street while a tripod is just down the street, basically pulling people out of the building they're in, and you know, they're having this like extremely close call with this tripod, and there's some really amazing screenshots for it, and a section of that scene is even in the trailer for the movie, so it's still kind of like wondered by many why this was cut from the actual film itself. But one thing is, I'm glad that it's going to be added into the game in some form. Also, something that relates to this is the developer wants to include a feature where if you're standing close to a window, the tripod's harvester tentacles can pull you out through windows and doorways. So if a pod is right outside and you don't want to be standing too close to windows. He also responded to someone on Discord suggesting that people should be able to barricade doors and windows, with him basically just saying, that's a cool idea. And the last cool idea that someone put forward, me, he actually added it to the game, which is of course the sounds of the NPCs crying for help while in cages, which he did release gameplay of on Patreon, which I imagine will be available to the public very soon. So if you want to see that, stay tuned for that. That will be, available soon. More gameplay news. You probably already assumed this, but if you didn't know, it is confirmed that you will be able to play as the invaders in both multiplayer and single player. So you'll be able to start a whole game off playing as a tripod. So how that's going to go, I'm not sure. Maybe you start off as the first tripod to emerge out of the ground, and you play as that one the whole way through. Or if maybe you can change what variant of tripod you play as. I don't know. That's something that hopefully I'll find out soon. I might ask him about that. Also, I'm not sure if you'll be able to play as an individual alien itself. So, if you can go down into buildings yourself and search for humans, or maybe even use the probe. This is all stuff hopefully I'm going to find out, but it would be really cool if you could do all of those things. Red weed update. So, the dev has now found a way to include procedural red weed spawning. I know in the last video I said he hadn't figured it out yet, but literally a few hours after that video was posted, he released clips on for the Patreon members showcasing it. So, if I've got permission to show that, like a screenshot of it, you'll see that on screen now. If I don't have permission, well, I don't know what you're going to be looking at. Probably just some dumb, unrelated photo I had on my PC. But it's good to see that the dev is quick to find solutions to these barriers that he's coming up against in the development. Also, all he's got to do now is he's just got to program the red weed to spawn when the tripods spray it around, which I can't imagine that'll take very long. Next on the list is AI. So, he said on the game's Discord server that there will be battles between the AI invaders and the military. So you might be walking through a town infested with tripods, and then suddenly the military shows up thinking they're going to kick some ass, but instead they get their asses handed to them. So I'm not sure how big the battles are going to be, but I did see somewhere that he wants to add the famous Battle on the Hill scene, after the Camelot scene thing. So I imagine there's going to be some pretty large scale battles going on, which is going to be sick to watch, to play out, and then terrifying when the military loses, so you'll be running away and hiding again. More AI stuff. This is currently being worked on for the test build coming out this summer, but AI pathing and the probes. So currently the probe just searches room to room and then just reverses out the entrance of the building, and then the tripod just carries on as it was. But he wants to rework it so it's more procedural, and so that if you make a noise in the building, or if it sees something that it finds interesting, it will search those areas specifically, and it will be kind of more random and unscripted. He also wants to make it so the aliens can actually enter the building that you're in, as at the moment it seems they can only run around on the street, but obviously he's going to make it so aliens can actually enter the buildings to search for you. Not sure how long that's going to take, but I can't imagine it will take him super long to figure out, as he seems to be a pretty smart guy and he can get over these speed bumps pretty fast. No pressure though. Moving on to some questions I've seen asked on Discord, as well as some of the ones you've asked in comments. He said that he's going to add backpacks into the game, so you can carry more items. Speaking of items, as such, he's tweaked the needs system a little bit, so your hunger, thirst and fatigue don't drain quite as fast, as it was a little bit extreme. I think it's still going to drain relatively quickly, but just not as much as it was before, because before you were never really able to stop in any building, because, you had to move on to find more food and drink. So hopefully now we'll have at least some time to stop and take a look at the beautiful scenery just get absolutely shredded by the invaders. One thing I've seen others mention on Discord, and something I'd personally like to see added, is leaning. Make it so you can lean around corners so you don't have to completely expose your body to see down a street, meaning you won't be as easy to spot to a tripod or an alien or a probe that's searching a building you're in, meaning you'll have more opportunities to avoid being detected. I also think it will add to the immersion and the atmosphere. Now, one of you asked me in the comments if there will be multiple lightning storms to show more aliens arriving on Earth and more pods coming out of the ground. Now, I asked the developer this, and all he said is at the moment there's one lightning storm and all the other pods will spawn off the edge of the map and come walking over the hill into the map, which is a bit disappointing, but it is early days in the development still, and I'm sure there's plans to add more lightning storms in the future, which I would really like to see, as you could have fled to what you believe to be a safe area, then suddenly all the power goes out and then there's more tripods popping out of the ground. Now, this may just be a thing in the future, as the dev didn't exactly say he had no plans to do this, but it's just currently there's one storm. Keyword there is currently. Last but not least is something I kind of want to talk about, is mod support. So the dev has stated, I'm pretty sure on his Discord FAQ, that there's no plans to have mod support, but I think down the road mod support would be a brilliant idea, especially in conjunction with the Steam Workshop. People could design their own maps, gameplay related mods, all sorts. I think that would really add to the quality of life of the game. Unless he plans to keep working on the game post-release and add new content, which I'm pretty sure he will, but that all depends really, doesn't it? And if he has no plans to keep working on the game after release, it will be a little bit disappointing, but if he adds mod support, then he really wouldn't have to. Anyway, that's everything for today's video. As always, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like, as it really helps me out more than you'd think. And if you want to see more of these sort of stuff, then make sure you subscribe and tick the bell so you get notified when I post a new video. And as always, if you want to ask me any more questions in the comments, be sure to just let me know in the comments below, or join my Discord server, which is linked in the description, as well as all the links to the game's development. That includes the Steam page, the game's official YouTube channel, and the Patreon, where you can even contribute even just a little bit of money. You'll have early access to all the development updates and sneak peeks at gameplay. So, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.